Hey, Tommy, Ira Schofel with warchant.com, also from Miami, if where we're from.
Okay.
Man, we know, Coach Norvell's been talking about you for a long time, even before you got to BC. Could you talk about the interest you had in Florida State, maybe even before you became a college football player, and just how exciting it was once this kind of came about?
Nice to meet you. Yes, the interest I had in Florida State, I've had that interest since I was a kid. I have family to go here. It's been my dream school, so just excited to be here and be a part of this team.
We'll go around front to Chris.
Hey, Tommy, Chris Knowles, 24/7. What's it like to be a quarterback in a Gus Malzahn offense? Kind of give us a behind the scenes since you have experience with it before FSU.
Just being in his offense, just from experience. My freshman year at UCF. It's an offense that is going to be explosive, going to be high tempo. Just really excited to be back and be involved, and just have him as my coach again. So I'm excited to see what this year or how this year goes.
Gonna go to Brendan.
Hey Tommy, I'm Brendan Sano with Knowles 24/7. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Can you describe your game for us? Things that you think you do well and things that you're trying to kind of work on, build on here this off season.
Just to describe my game, I feel like I can do everything. I feel like with the right tools and and the right structure, the right system, I feel like I can be unbelievable. But just me, my style of play, I'm a new style of play. That's what's going on. I can extend plays and kind of just make things happen off schedule. So yeah.
Gonna go to Jordan.
Hey, Tommy, Jordan Silversmith, Tomahawk Nation. Nice to meet you. Obviously, Florida State struggled a lot last year. Just what gave you the confidence to still commit to Tallahassee and commit to Coach Norvell and know that this program can kind of turn it around?
I've seen it happen before. I know what kind of excitement and kind of, just excitement this fan base and this community brings just by, even playing here or, just watching. This is an exciting place that loves football and that really cares about, their guys and their players. So I just want to be a part of that. Just wanted to come back, down south, closer to home, and just be a part of something special.
Gonna go up front to Peter.
Hey Thomas, Peter, Tallahassee Democrat. Mike Norvell has been really active in the transfer portal, and I'm getting all the guys. You got the big guys, offensive line, the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Just tell me about the chemistry you guys have made with them so far.
I would say the chemistry, it's been amazing. I feel like being the first one as a quarterback to commit coming out of the portal, I feel like that means a lot because then it gives guys like kind of whereabouts of where they should go or if they should come to that school, know who their quarterback's going to be or their leader's going to be. But just going through the process, just helping recruit and stuff like that, like Deuce and Squirrel and Micah and Luke and those guys, it's been amazing. I've gotten to create bonds with those guys on and off the field, and I feel like our chemistry is continuing to grow every day. I be with those guys a lot and hang out with those guys a lot, so I think it's going to be amazing, to see what we can do together.
Gonna go up front to Kurt.
Hey, Kurt Weiler with the Osceola. You talked about UCF. I guess was leaving after 1 year just about feeling ready for an opportunity that wasn't there yet. And I guess how tough was that? It seems to have been a good fit for your skill set, the offense. I guess how excited are you to be reunited with Coach Malzahn?
Oh, of course, yeah. It was. I just felt like I was ready, to go get an opportunity and go prove to the world that I can, play and be that leader and lead a team. But I'm so excited to be back with Coach Gus Malzahn. He's a great leader, great coach. We had a great bond when I was there. He was a great leader for me. I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited to be back with him and, just being able to be his guy.
Gonna go to Matt.
Matt Lasser with warchant.com. Nice to meet you, Tommy.
Nice to meet you as well.
From social media and kind of seeing you around the facility, it seems like you and Deuce Robinson have clicked really fast. Kind of tell us about that relationship and how close are you guys so quickly? It's only been like a month now.
It's just some things in life where, you meet someone that you just know that you guys have that, inner peace or inner circle about each other. Deuce is an amazing friend. He has amazing character and personality, and I just love his work ethic. We push each other every day, and just being, friends with a guy like that that's gonna, hold you accountable and push you to be the best you can be, it means a lot. So I think just when, he was going through the recruiting process, that's what, kind of, hit it. We just talking about pushing each other and demanding things out of each other to, get the best out of each other. So I feel like that really would, set the tone for it.
Back to Ira.
Kind of following up on that, how exciting has this process been, especially like December and January, in terms of kind of helping this coaching staff shape the roster? I'm sure you're checking out clips of Squirrel and different guys,
Yeah.
and what kind of input were you giving them during that process?
Just giving inputs on what I see. Of course, you go through the film and breaking down clips and stuff like that. And bringing those two in, like Deuce, just watching his big body, his style of play, to being able to run at his speed and move the way he moves is incredible. And it's he has experience. He's played with Caleb Williams, he's played at USC in big games and stuff like that. So he's definitely ready for the moments. And Squirrel White as well. He's played with great quarterbacks. He's played in the system, and he's an unbelievable player. Just watching him, he's played in big time games, and like, that's what kind of we're looking for, some guys that's ready to go right now and to be able to go and take on the expectations for this year.
Gonna go to Aslan.
Aslan Hajavandi with WarChant.com. Do you prefer Thomas or Tommy?
Tommy.
Tommy. Okay, cool. Entering the portals is a very common thing now, but I guess entering the portal kind of during the season is a little bit kind of uncommon. Can you kind of talk about your decision to leave Boston College at the time you decided to leave Boston College?
Yes. I would just say, unfortunately, things didn't happen the way I wanted them to happen. Unfortunately, a lot of the things that was out there is not true. But that's past me now. I'm here now. I'm a part of something special. I'm a Seminole. I'm with these guys. So my main focus now is just leading these guys and trying to turn this thing around and help this community and this fan base, bring back the excitement that everyone is used to.
Gonna go to Brendan.
Got a two-parter, if that's okay. Is that okay, Tommy?
Yeah, that's fine.
The first one is looking at your stats from this past season. A lot of the passing efficiency seemed to get better. I guess what went into becoming, I guess, a more comfortable quarterback, a more efficient one as a passer?
I would just say, 2023 is my first year playing, and just young guy, just going out there trying to make plays, have fun, and then this year just more of leading and trying to actually be efficient and progress and actually being a quarterback and just managing the game and taking what the defense gives me and just stuff like that. So I'll say this year just the game slowed down for me a lot, and I was able to just dissect and I thought he was an amazing coach. Thought it was great for me. He taught me things that I didn't know and progressed me in a way like you said, like a passer and more efficient and throwing the ball and stuff like that, and just being able to dissect defense and read and stuff like that. So I would say he helped me a lot of just just understanding the game and understanding position.
Back to Kurt.
Did you said a few of your family members went to Florida State?
Yes, sir.
Is who in your family?
Devontae Freeman, he won the national championship here back when Jameis Winston. Yeah. Yeah.
Is he's like
That's probably the one you guys would know.
Sure.
So that's why.
a few others as well though?
Yeah, of course.
And then I guess you were recruited a little here, but not as a quarterback out of high
Correct.
school. I guess what were your impressions of Mike Norvell then? Your impressions of Mike Norvell now, and I guess what's it mean to have now shown that you can be a quarterback here when maybe you weren't viewed that way in high school?
I would say 2023 and 2024 helped me prove that I can play quarterback and play quarterback here. So, God does everything for a reason, and I can't complain. That's the path He chose for me, and now I'm here. So it all worked out the way I wanted it to work out, and I'm super excited to be here now.
I got time for a couple more. We're gonna go Ira.
Got to call the two-parter. I got to do my own. That 2023 game against Florida State, where you put up 400 yards, I think you guys ran out of time more than anything in that game. But what was that like, and how much of that was wanting to show what you could do against a team like Florida State, since a lot of big-time schools weren't offering you as a quarterback coming out?
It was exciting. I was blessed to have the opportunity to play against those guys. They was the number 3 team in the country. They had a really great defense, one of the best defenses in college football that year. I took it personal. I had that chip on my shoulder from when I wasn't recruited, out of high school, and I just took it out there to the field and just really showed what I can do. So I really, thankful for the opportunity, and I had the opportunity to play against him and showcase what I can do.
This isn't your first time changing schools, and it's not new to the sport, but you guys are bringing in a ton of new guys, and they have a bunch of guys returning off a disappointing season. What's that been like in terms of how are guys meshing? Like, what have you seen from the locker room and things like that?
A couple of things I've seen from the locker room is they just I feel like missing leadership or missing someone that can, lead them and guide them and just that really care about them. Since I've been here, we've been meshing like really well. They have accepted me and let me be a part of their family and take the role of leading them and just guiding them the way it's supposed to be. But I love the guys. I love everyone here. I feel like this team, like this year, like right now, like just by being here only 3 weeks, our bond is already so tight and our chemistry is so good. And I feel like that's what leads. People don't really understand, like that's what leads on and off the field. If you don't have a chemistry or a bond outside of, off the field or outside of the locker room, then, you won't really have one on the field. You need to be able to trust each other and be able to demand and respect each other and trust each other on the field. So I would say now, like, we hang out a lot. I try to get the guys over a lot and try to be around anybody I can, whether it's offense and defense, like no matter what position, just to build that trust and that bond and those chemistry. So, so far it's been great. They're a great group of guys that I love being a part of so far, and can continue to express how excited I am to be here and see where this year leads.
All right, we got 3 more. We're gonna go start with Jordan.
Tommy, following up on that, can you talk about your relationship with both Coach Tokars and also the other quarterbacks in the QB room?
Yes, Coach Tokars is a really great personality and character. Obviously, I can't really give you too much information because he hasn't coached me yet. But I just love his drive and his energy every day and his simplicity come to work and just, his love for his players. But Brock, Trev, Glenn, Kevin, like all the other guys, Michael, we have a great relationship. Like I said, I've been around the guys, just hanging out with those guys. As a quarterback unit, no matter who the guy is, like you have to be one and you have to stick together, be together. And I would say, Brock's been here and he's, kind of the older guy here and he's been helping me a lot and transitioning, just, showing me how Norvell want things or how Coach Tokars want things. So he's been an unbelievable, great leader for me and helping me just transition here. I love the guys so far. I have a great room, I feel like, and excited to be a part of those guys and work with them.
You're going back to Avalon.
Tommy, how's tour of duty been? What have you seen from those drills, those days?
Tour of duty is
good about?
definitely something that I've never been a part of or never done. Everybody around the country does summer workouts and mat drills and stuff like that, but the amount of discipline and strain and just like detailed and little things that they require out of you during that process of training is definitely like, it's definitely tough because like they try to demand and try to get the best out of you and to see how you can focus and lock in on the little things when you're tired and when you gas. But it's been different for sure. I never did anything like it, but it's definitely helping us be better and get in shape and stuff like that, and to get us ready for the fall. So.
All right, last one's gonna go to Chris.
Hey, Tommy, obviously you're familiar with what Gus does offensively. As you're learning it here, are there tweaks to it with the fact that he's now around some different people, including Mike Norvell?
Just by being here for like 3 weeks and he's freshly new and stuff like that. It's a lot of different things that's going on like off the field and stuff like that. So we really haven't got into like the ball perspective of things and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure with the tools and weapons that we have now that he didn't have at UCF or I didn't have at BC, I'm pretty sure it goes into the schematically of change of depending on the guys that we have and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see what he can dial up and put for us.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys. Nice meeting you all.
Good, how are you?
Ira Shofa with WarChant.com. Man, if you could, you obviously played at high levels of college football. What was it attracted to you about Florida State? What attracted you to Florida State coming off of the season they just came off of?
Yeah, I think for me, my portal experience was a little different than probably a lot of guys just because, you know, I was going to go back to Wake Forest, and I was ready to go back to Wake Forest, but then our head coach, he resigned, and, you know, that kind of threw me in a loop and kind of put me in a, you know, kind of a pressure cooker where I felt like I was late into the portal and, you know, kind of I feel like it's normal to just have nerves in that situation where it's my first time in 5 years where I didn't have, you know, a sense of home and, like, know exactly where I was going to be. So, you know, I weighed all my options and, you know, talking to Coach Norvell, Coach Malzahn, Coach Hand, getting down here and visiting, you know, I felt like it felt like home to me and it felt like home to my parents. They embraced my parents and myself. And, you know, right away I felt like it was a good fit. And, you know, I think that you look at what Coach Norvell's done here at Florida State in the past. I've been in the ACC for 5 years, so I've been able to watch Florida State from afar. And obviously last year was, you know, not great, but I mean, just a year ago they were undefeated. The year before that, I think they won 8 or 9 games in a row, and steady improvements is what I've seen from Florida State from afar, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
We go up front here to Chris.
I know you come from a football family, so I'm sure coaches matter to you a great deal. When you talk to Coach Hand, what is it about him that stands out to you as a guy who wants to get further developed in the college game?
Yeah. Football-wise, from talking to Coach Hand right away, I could tell he was super knowledgeable. You know, he's someone that, you know, he's talking to me about techniques, talking to me about schemes, stuff like that. When I came down here, we were breaking down tape, and I liked everything he had to say, and I liked the way that he approaches coaching. So that was something that was cool. And then I think that on a personal level, something that's important to me is, you know, just like having someone that, you know, you feel comfortable having a normal conversation with. Like, he's your coach, yes, but there should also be a sort of relationship there that's on a more personal level. And I felt that with Coach Han, and similar to what I said with the last question, you know, he was super cool to my parents, and, you know, that's something that's important to me. So I just felt like Coach Han was the best of both worlds.
Gonna go to Brendan.
Hey Luke, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. My name's Brendan with Knowles 24/7. Looking at the scheme difference, I guess, you know, at Wake Forest was a very unique, at least elements of it were very unique. I guess what have you seen from this scheme, and how do you think that's going to fit your skill set to make the decision, be comfortable coming here?
Yeah. Wake Forest is different. Their offense was different. You know, the slow mesh, everyone likes to talk about it. But, yeah, I mean, that's one aspect of it that's different. And then, you know, pass pro, outside zone, power's power, counter's counter, stuff. I mean, that was similar. So you take the slow mesh away, the schemes itself are fairly similar. So it's not something I was super worried about.
We go in the back to Jordan.
Hey, Luke, Jordan Silversmith, Tomahawk Nation. You mentioned finding a new home. How have you acclimated to both the new locker room, the new coaching staff, and also just Tallahassee in general?
Yeah, I think that getting here, something that was super important to me was, you know, making friends on the team and, you know, immersing myself into the culture of the locker room. And it's something new for me. I haven't done it in 5 years. I did it when I was a freshman at Wake Forest, but I hadn't done it, and now I'm 23 years old, so it's a little different. And I'm sure it's hard for guys that have been here to welcome in a transfer, but honestly, they've been super welcoming. The O-line room's been super welcoming to me. Everyone's, you know, welcomed me with open arms, and it's something I really appreciate. And I think that made the transition for me a lot easier.
Gonna go to Ira.
You know, historically, offensive line play is just there's always been so much talk about continuity and guys developing that chemistry over years. And but in college football now, it almost seems like impossible. How have things gone so far with, you know, bringing in these other transfers and then the returning guys kind of coming together?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we get together, we do drills, stuff like that, and, you know, that's kind of the start. I mean, it's January and you're not practicing and stuff like that, so it's hard in that sense. But, you know, getting together, doing drills, lifting together, being around each other, that's kind of the start of building continuity, I think. I think it's a process, and I think that once spring ball gets here, that's the time where you really can start ironing stuff out. So I think that'll be a big time for us this spring. But for now, I think that the biggest thing is just being around each other, getting to know each other, doing what we can football-wise, and just more importantly, just bonding on a personal level.
Have time for a couple more. Gonna go up front to Chris.
I realized I didn't introduce myself last time. Chris New with Knowles 24/7. Is the plan to solely play center here? And as a center, having a lot of history there, how different is it snapping to different people, or is there a carryover regardless of who's behind you?
It's not really something I really think. I mean, I guess it's not different who you're snapping to. I guess it's just different who's playing quarterback and how they operate. That's probably the biggest difference. But, I've played center for my whole career. I've played a little bit of guard too. So, I mean, it's whatever I'm needed at. I think I'm a good center. And I've played center in the ACC for a long time and done it at a pretty high level. So I'm comfortable there. And if they need me to play guard, I feel like I can do that too. And I've done that before in the ACC. So it's whatever Coach Norvell, Coach Malzahn, and Coach Hand think is best for the team.
We go to Brendan here. We got time for a few more.
Can you talk about your relationship with Tommy Castellanos? I guess, did you guys talk during your recruiting process? And obviously you're together now. I guess, how's that relationship been so far?
Yeah. Tommy, Instagram, DM'd me when I went into the portal and was like, come to Florida State. And I was just like, all right, we'll see what happens. And then I committed, and then we started texting right away. And, through that, he's helped me when I was moving in. He was already down here, so he helped me move in, stuff like that. Was checking up on me, making sure I felt comfortable, stuff like that. So that was cool. And, he's a really good dude. And 3 weeks I've gotten to get to know him. I can only say good things about him. He's a really genuine, good person. So.
All right, so we got the last one for Aslan.
Aslan Hudjavani with thewarchant.com. Luke, with all these new guys coming together, I don't know if leadership is that much more important in this day and age, or if it's it's just all about talent. But are you trying to develop a leadership role? Have the coaches told you about who's they're looking at and leaning on, or is that something that just organically has to happen?
Yeah, I don't think leadership can be faked and stuff like that. And I think as a new guy, the first thing you have to do is build trust if you want to be a leader. And, I was captain at Wake Forest, and I was a leader at Wake Forest for a good amount of time, and that was in part because I built trust over such a long period of time. So, I mean, I'm not going to force anything, and that's not my position to do. I'm not going to sit here and try to force myself into a leadership role, because that's not how good leaders are born. So I think I'm just going to, do my part, try to be the best teammate I can possibly be. And if that means that's brings me into a leadership role, I'm more than happy to, take that on. But it's got to be natural, and I think that everyone knows that leadership has to come naturally.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you guys.
Hey, Squirrel, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Did you know Tommy at all before this recruiting process and you ended up at Florida State? Had you seen him at all, and what have you thought of him since you got to know him?
Yeah, I think I seen a clip of him that went viral on ESPN of him making a crazy play, scrambling around and just finding the receiver down the field. So I'm definitely I seen him before. I'm familiar what he does and stuff like that. So.
All right, we're gonna go to Liam over here.
Hey, Squirrel, nice to meet you. What is your relationship like with Deuce Robinson? How have you guys been getting along since coming in, obviously, as the other transfer wide receiver?
Oh, yeah. Me and Deuce's relationship is good. He's a bigger receiver, taller receiver, so he got great character. He a great dude. If I need anything, if he need anything, we both know that, we got each other and stuff like that. So, yeah.
We go over here to Brendan.
Hey, Squirrel, you you seem to have a lot of production in your career. Can you talk about your skill set? I guess what it was like playing in that prolific offense, and what it's going to be like playing in a different sort of scheme for the first time.
Yeah, obviously I had production like my last few years and stuff like that. Far as like the offense and stuff like that, I feel like I'm very comfortable with like the offense and stuff like that. It's a similar offense to like what we ran at Tennessee, so I'd be comfortable in that.
Go up here to Peter.
Hey, Squirrel, Peter Hall and Tallahassee Democrat. Forgive me for being not that aware, but could give us a little bit of backstory of the name Squirrel and how much you really embraced that name throughout your football career.
Yeah, it started when I was a baby. My great grandma was holding me in her arms, and Squirrel was out in her garden picking at her tomatoes, and when the squirrel moved, I moved. So she was like, "That's gonna be your name. That's gonna be your nickname." So yeah, and then like far as like me liking the nickname, at first I didn't like the nickname because I thought like it was just silly. Like everybody would make fun of me when I was in school and stuff like that. So I just always went by my first name until like my cousins and stuff like that started calling me Squirrel, and like people started hearing that, and like teachers started calling me Squirrel. And I was like, forget it. And then played football, and it just grew on me. So I was like, might as well just keep calling me Squirrel. So.
Go up front to Kurt.
Hey, Squirrel, we talked to you coming out of your visit about, I know you think you had a few other visits set up, but obviously end up here. I guess, what was it? You talked about maybe similarities to Tennessee's offense. What was it about this offense where you kind of saw it as a fit for your last year of eligibility?
Yeah, just terms of me just getting the ball in my hands. I feel like if you get the ball in my hands, I'm able to do anything with it. So I feel like that's something that like, I can showcase here in this offense, and I will showcase this, and that's pretty much it. I had other visits lined up, but I just felt like this was the right fit. I just went with my gut, and I trusted it. So.
Time for a couple more. Going to Brendan.
Past season, it seemed like there was a variety of injuries that you never really had to deal with before in college. I guess, one, how frustrating was that to have to kind of play through those? And then two, how are you feeling now? Do you expect to be ready for the spring?
Oh, yeah. Last year I had a few injuries, so, I mean, it was a little bit of adversity to handle. Nothing I couldn't handle, so, I mean, injuries happen. It's football. I mean, I was able to still push through it and stuff like that. As far as terms being ready to go, I'm always ready to go. I'm healthy, so I'll be ready to go this spring.
Coming up here to Chris.
How much have you gotten to know Coach Harris since your arrival here, and what stands out to you about him in the early days?
Oh, yeah, Coach Harris, man, he a great coach. He come from background history of coaches. His family coaches ball, so, like, he a great coach to be around and stuff like that. He a great dude. Man, I just can't wait to get ready to play for him and stuff like that.
Can I go over there to Ira?
I think we saw you with a baby when you were at the visit. Is that your child?
Yes, I got a 9-month-old son.
Congratulations. How
Appreciate
has
you.
that
Thank
changed your life or outlook at all as you finish college?
Oh, yeah, it definitely changed my life. It's extra motivation to me. Every time I get the chance to, like, go home and spend time with him, I'm spending time with him. It's been nothing but amazing. Like, I love being a dad. Like, it's just amazing.
Coming up here to Peter.
Squirrel, I'm seeing a couple other guys who played with Tennessee. I mean, I believe you guys played one season together, Herring and Jenkins as well.
Mm-hmm.
How much that really factor in guys wanting to play each other again? Do you guys communicate at all throughout the transfer portal?
Oh, yeah, we definitely did. We all had a visit lined up, like, January 2nd, so we all came on the visit and stuff like that, hung out and everything. So, like, I definitely wanted to reunite with them. I seen Jason commit first. I was like, okay, let's go. All right, he committed to Florida State. Seen Elijah Herring commit. I was like, oh, dang. So, like, it's only right if I commit, too. So I was like, yeah, let's get this thing rolling.
All right, Kurt's gonna have the last one.
I know you had pretty good punt return numbers too in terms of like yards per return. I guess was that a selling point from the staff? Is that something you could see yourself doing here? Have you talked about it? I know you haven't been out in a practice here yet.
But yeah, obviously I had success as a punt returner. Special teams coach said that he want me to return punts. I'm gonna return punts. I'm gonna do whatever they need me to do. So just like I said, when I get the ball in my hands, I'm special and I can do anything. So.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank y'all.